Hi guys, happy day 21 of the ABC challenge. Today is letter U. It is probably one of my least favorite letters. Don't want to say I hate it. It's just kind of, I don't know, not much going on. And U's are hard because there's not that many names that begin with U, so it can be tricky sometimes to practice. So thanks to those of you who joined in. I'm going to go right into the lowercase strokes that you'll need to know. Super simple. This is probably the next simplest letter other than the letter I. Because remember with the letter I, we had an entrance stroke, and then we had an underturn. So with the letter U, we're going to just add a second underturn. Okay. Sorry, a little shaky. And if you're new to the challenge, please be sure to check out the information below for all the details. I'd love for you to join in with the challenge. Okay, so when you connect these letters, you're going to have your entrance stroke. You're going to want to align your underturn to the left, to the right side, okay, of your entrance stroke like this. Then when you put the next one, you want to align it to the right side of the exit part of that underturn. You could even do this in 5 strokes. Entrance stroke, underturn, but taper off at the baseline and lift your pen. Exit stroke, lift, beginning part, lift, and the next part. Sorry, I made this kind of wide, but the point that I wanted to make is that you could technically lift your pen right here. So this is my cutoff of the different strokes. And if you are a lefty, I never forget my lefties, this is really important to lift, because look what happens if you don't lift. If you just do your entrance stroke and you press down from there, and you do another entrance stroke, exit, and then you press down, look what happens to, that was my best attempt at lefty. If this stroke here is on the right side, you're overlapping here. So what this looks like, if I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger, if this is your entrance stroke, you don't want your next stroke to come out this way like this. Do you see that? So this would be my entrance stroke, and then this here is my next stroke. See that? Instead, you want to have your entrance stroke, and then you want to put your underturn on the right side. Do you see the difference? Give me a thumbs up or some kind of yes makes sense in the chat or in a comment. I'd love to know if that makes sense to you, because this is one of the biggest things that I feel like really cleans up your strokes and your lettering. So if you were to lift, let's do this again down here. And again, forgive me for writing with my left hand. I'm trying. So if I write with if I do my entrance stroke here, sorry for being shaky, and then I lift my pen, and then I place the tip on the right side. See that? I allow space for the downstroke, lift my pen up, and I come a little bit to the right. Okay, so see how that opens up the space down here. Look at how big my spaces are compared to how tiny they are right here. Okay, that's probably one of my top favorite things to teach. So hopefully that makes sense. Oh, cool, fellow lefties in the chat. All right, and then one more thing I wanted to do to troubleshoot and help you have that critical eye. Make sure you're evaluating your work, you guys. This space in here, these should be pretty even. So see this, we call this the counter space, the empty space in between your strokes. You don't want, for example, one of your underturns to be relatively good size and then the next one to be super tiny. See how inconsistent that is? And then vice versa. You wouldn't want a tiny first underturn and then a really wide one. Unless, I always give a disclaimer, unless you're going for that look. But if you're going for consistency, this is not it. You want to keep these pretty even, okay? All right, so let's go on to the uppercase. Hi guys in the chat, thanks for joining in. Good to see you. I know I hopped on early yesterday, so I tried to take advantage of a chance I had to go on because baby was super awake. So I knew if I waited till she was done that I would not be going on until like 9:45. So I took a chance. Okay, so for this first one, this is a pretty long stroke. Okay, we can break it down, but you lead in, put a little bit of pressure here. Try to stick to the top portion of your ascender. Stay in between your first and second ascender. I kind of went below here. And then come down with a thick stroke, taper back off when you get to the baseline. You could lift here if you wanted to. And then finish with a hairline. And then you're going to connect that to sort of an underturn. When I say sort of, it's because you're going to have your full pressure, taper off at the baseline, and then finish up with an exit stroke. Okay, so when you put that together, that's going to look like this. So lead in, a little bit of pressure, come back out, pressure, hairline, lift, and then full pressure, baseline, exit stroke. So we can break this down. Hopefully this video is not too long, but look at this. Let's start with the downstrokes, okay? On our slant line, as always, you want to make sure that they are parallel to that slant line. The next thing I want to point out is you have to keep in mind this space that I'm keeping in between all my strokes. See how there's like this nice distance between them. What you don't want to do is have that lead in like this, and then you go too close here. And so look at this area here. There's just a lot of traffic going on. Okay, so try not to do that. And then vice versa, you don't want to go too tight here and then come way back out. So see how this just is this awkward, uneven. There's a lot of space here, but there's like barely any space here. Okay, so those are things to keep in mind when you are trying to troubleshoot and practice. Okay, let me speed it up a little bit here. You've seen an entrance into the an uppercase like this before with a backwards spiral, and then follow the same suit here. The difference is instead of crossing this entrance, you're just starting in here, keeping that even space again. And then another option, you could start actually up above. This is just for fun and sort of flourishing your strokes. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I have some names from Instagram. This was probably super important for me because letter U, I mean, how many names are there? Not too many. The most popular one by far was Ursula, so let's go ahead and do that one. Followed by probably Ulysses. So Ursula, what's really cool about the alphabet challenge is as I'm demoing names, I'm like, oh look, we just talked about the R, we just talked about the S. Here's your lowercase u, perfect. Ursula, let's keep it simple. Okay. And then Ulysses was super, I hope I'm saying that right. I never know if it's Ulysses or yeah, it's probably Ulysses, not Ulysses. Don't mind me. I don't get out much. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I always make a comment about connecting the capital letter to your next stroke. So you can see here that you're clearly able to connect that. Okay, lots of S's here. 1, 2, ooh, little sloppy, sorry, I'm going kind of fast. And let's do, this one's a really short one. Una. Thought it was so cute. So something I want to point out when you're doing your letter U, try not to make, you can start this stem here a little bit higher. You could start maybe in the middle of your first descender and second descender, but I would avoid starting up here, okay? Just because it just feels so tall, like it's about to tip over. I mean, sorry, that's not really the best description, but just keep in mind that you don't want to start that stem too tall, okay? Let's see. Umberto. I hope I'm saying that right. Let's do this version here. And as we're nearing the end of the challenge, you guys, first of all, I'm getting super sad. I'm going to be missing you guys a lot. It's been so fun tuning in with you. It's like my night is not complete, but at the same time, I would be lying if I didn't say how much I was looking forward to taking a break from having to log on each night. And I totally thought that I would be just hopping on for 5 minutes. And I don't know if I told you guys this, but I timed myself. Oh my gosh, it takes me minimum 25 minutes, but max up to like 40 minutes to do these sessions because I'm logging on. Sorry to sound like I'm complaining, but just want to share with you what happens behind the scenes in case you're interested. You know, so it's logging on, getting ready, getting the supplies out, and then I prep for the next one too. Oh, I wish I had more space here for this next name. Oh, I'm getting really sloppy. U Z Uzma. I wonder what kind of name that is. I'm running out of space. Sorry. And then I wanted to ask you guys how you're doing with the challenge. How are you doing with following along? Are you enjoying this? Okay, that's pretty complicated. I hope I'm going to spell this right. Okay. U N. Uh-oh. Hope I have enough space. Zila. And then, I hope you're still tracking with me here. I want to ask you guys what you have been enjoying the most about the live sessions. Is it the breakdown of the strokes in the beginning? Is it, Usher? Is it the capitals, lowercase? Is it the names? So if you could give me some feedback, that would be awesome. If you're watching this on the replay, you can definitely leave me a comment. Okay, let me just keep up with this style here and do a few more names. Ulrich, interesting. And by the way, I don't know if you guys send out snail mail or if you are the type to send out holiday cards or birthday cards, but let me tell you, if you want a sure way to practice and get better, it is addressing your holiday cards, because that is like a ton of names all in a row that you can do, and it's just really a great way to practice. Okay, let's do a little bit of bouncing. That sounds funny. So let's just see what we can do. I'm not going to make it as high here. Urvasha. Ooh, trying to mix in a little bit of brush, like literally the brushed look. This is interesting. Uma. Oh, I love letter M's for bounce lettering because there's like all these different levels. So here's this level, and then this level. So this is kind of one of my favorite ways to bounce the strokes. Okay. And then let's do one more. Oh, somebody wrote umbrella. Pretty sure it's not a name. Okay, let's do Upton. That's like Kate Upton. Utopia. That's a fun one. Okay. Let's see. I don't know if this will work. Just trying it out. That's what we do here, right? We just experiment. These more scripty and brushy looks, I like doing them because I feel like there's more room for imperfections. You know what I mean? All right, guys. That is your letter U for the day. Keep an eye out on Instagram for my call for letter V. I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know what you've been thinking about the challenge. If you haven't left me a comment yet or something in the chat, why don't you just say hi? I would love to hear from you. I know what it's like to be a lurker and just kind of be observing from the background, but don't be shy. I don't bite. I mean, not like I can through the screen. So just please say hi or just give me a thumbs up. I'd love to hear from you. So Handlettered ABCs is where it's all at on Instagram. Super sad the challenge is almost over, but I will see you guys tomorrow for letter V. Take care. Have a great day wherever you are. See you next time.